Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. Let me just say that the city in New York needed this on what was a rough double dip in Philly tonight, obviously. It had been a very tough couple of weeks in New York. The Jets obviously off to a dreadful start. The Giants struggling mightily again. Obviously, what went on with the baseball. And tonight, the city and the Giant fans got a major lift. I mean, there is very little to say negatively about this game. I mean, this was probably one of the more complete positive performances by the Giants in many years, and one that provides hope because of the kids leading the way. Dart is 2-1. He's cocky. He's got some things to learn. He has got to get down. They cannot run him like he's a fullback. He's got to get down or he's going to take too many punishing hits. But his enthusiasm, his toughness, his quickness with the ball, he gets rid of the ball quickly. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. He actually made 2 or 3 throws tonight that should have been caught. That would have been big plays. One for a touchdown. I thought the Giants utilized their personnel better tonight than they have in years. And they made plays on defense. They forced turnovers. And let's be honest, they controlled this game, except for when the Eagles took the lead after the 4 straight tush pushes, and you thought maybe the Eagles were going to say, okay, that just showed us we can rub your nose in it, and we're going to come out and beat the heck out of you. And the Eagles just kept making really mistakes that tell me they are missing a lot this year. They have a lot of injuries. Let me just say this about the Eagles for a second. They have a lot of injuries. It is very hard to repeat. It is very hard after you win a championship to come back and try and win another one. They made so many bad plays tonight in their passing game. They made so many bad plays with their penalties. Yes, they lost guys in the secondary. They made so many bad plays in the kicking game. I mean, the Giants the Eagles just made a lot of mistakes tonight, and the Giants were in control. And when was the last time you saw the Giants up 17 going into the victory formation at the 2-minute warning? I mean, that is something we haven't seen in a long time. Now, before this draft, every draft I have 1 or 2 players. I didn't quibble with the Jets drafting the tackle because I think he's a quality player. But I wanted them to take Tyler Warren, who I think is going to be a great tight end. And I think so far you've seen that Tyler Warren has been, for a rookie, an unbelievable tight end. Tight ends don't come in usually and do what he has done. And they're raving about him as a future superstar. My other player was Skattebo. I was delighted when the Jets got him because I was going to get to watch him. I knew he would take the starting job eventually. And he will only get better, folks, because that's who he is. His game last year in the playoff game was one of the greatest games I ever saw a collegiate play. And I was stunned by how tough he was. And he shows you that now. Now, is he cocky? Yeah. Do I want to see him taunting guys? No. Do I need to see all those backflips? No. But right now, this is a franchise that needs energy, that needs players that the fans can circle around and believe in. And they now have 2 of them, and they're both rookies. And you're going to see 6 and 44 all over that building. And eventually, once they utilize Carter right, you might see his number all over the building too. I mean, Skattebo tonight gets 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a remarkable game against the Eagles. That puts him on the map. He put himself on the map this evening. And Dart has quickly put himself on the map. Now, their schedule is still brutal. They go to Denver next week, which will be a very tough game. The Eagles will be ready for them in 2 weeks. They were missing a lot of guys tonight, especially missing Carter. And then they start to see the Packers and the Bears and the Lions. So there's a lot of tough games to be played. But days like this are going to save Daboll's job because he not only is getting the quarterback prepared and getting him prepared properly, but he's winning games with him. And tonight he utilized his talent. Last week I thought this should have been the game plan that he used against New Orleans, and he didn't. Tonight he had a way to use some of his other weapons. And whether it was throwing the ball up to the tight ends, getting the ball to Robinson, who made a very nice play on that 35-yard touchdown. I mean, that was him. But Dart's getting the ball out quickly. He's making the plays. And as long as he can stay away from mistakes, which is going to happen with rookie quarterbacks, he's going to come back with an enthusiasm every time. Clearly the interception and then the pass interference put the game away. If they score there, who knows what's going to happen? But the bottom line is it didn't happen. They got the turnover, and then when the Eagles come down again, they turn the ball over once, they turn the ball over twice. They have a huge pass interference in the end zone. That was borderline, but still good to see the Giants get a call for a change. This was a extremely positive night. And as the Giant fans flock out of that building tonight, they can go out with their head held high, because to do that in a division game where they have gotten embarrassed, to do that against the defending champs, to do it on national television on a night where there were so many Eagle fans in their building, it gave them a chance to have Giant pride, because they whipped the Eagles and whipped them good tonight. And when they're taking their knee at 2 minutes to go in the game, that's a whipping. And this game was a whipping. And this was an extremely, and now they get 11 days to build on it, an extremely positive game. A game, frankly, I thought on a short preparation week that the Eagles coming off a loss that they would not win. But the Eagles did not have a lot of fire tonight. They made an unusual amount of mistakes. And they never seemed exactly like the Eagles. I think they're having a lot more problems on defense and a lot more problems in their offensive line than they're letting on. But this isn't about the Eagles tonight. This is about the Giants. And this is about Dart. And this is about Skattebo. And this is about the players who made plays on defense. And this is about Daboll having a big night. And you know what? We've been hard on Daboll. So when he has a good night, you got to call it a good night. And this was a good night. Now, let me tell you about a couple things. Dodgers winning. You win in all different ways in baseball. Tonight they won not thumping. They won with the Phillies doing silly things. It happens. How they won mattered. They move on. That's what had to matter, and that's what mattered. And obviously they're the team to beat. Let me tell you about the Francesa Futures Room. Players who place a qualifying real money wager of $50 on any NBA team to be the outright winner of the NBA championship for the 2024-25 season the 2025-26 season will receive a NBA Profit Boost 3-pack. The Profit Boost will be awarded as 3 individual Profit Boosts as one, valid for any NBA wager, 1 valid for any same-game parlay, 1 valid for NBA parlays. See the app for details. So, tough night all the way around. Can you imagine Sports Talk in Philly tomorrow? Listen, they're spoiled rotten with their football team. Now, their Philly fans and their football fans are different fans. Remember, the Eagles are the team in Philadelphia. They're the team that they love no matter what's going on. They're the team that they're passionate about, and they were upset with one loss. Can you imagine what they're going to be tonight? Saquon Barkley was a different. Last year, I was at the game when Philly came in, And Barkley was unbelievable. I mean, Saquon Barkley was unbelievable. Tonight, he got off. He had 31 yards in the first 2 carries. He wound up with 58 yards in the game. He had the one big one in the third quarter, and that was it. I mean, he didn't do anything. He didn't hurt him in the passing game. Goddard hurt him. He did a big job. He missed the pass to Smith in the first half with broken coverages. That would have given an easy walk-in touchdown. They weren't sharp. But don't take anything away from the Giants, because the Giants played well. And if you beat the Eagles 34-17 in a much higher scoring game than you expect in this, like if you told me the Giants are going to score 30, I'm not going to believe it. I could believe they could score 20 tonight. I'm not going to believe they're going to score 30. And I'm also not going to believe that they're going to run the ball the way they did, with power and conviction, that they ran the ball all night. And that was impressive. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Skattebo, as Kirk said, is the kind of back, and he definitely is, who gets stronger the more you give him the ball. The first couple of plays, he's not impressive. He'll move with 2, 3, but as you get him, he's going to break them. And for the night, he winds up 19 for 98. Dart winds up with 13 for 58. They rush 172 yards, and they get another 195 passing. You know what? That's a good balanced night. They could have had more. They could have had more in the passing game. Humphrey dropped one that was brilliantly thrown. Johnson dropped one that was terrifically thrown. Hyatt missed one that he should have caught, but he did get the big draw on the pass interference call that put the ball on the 1. Robinson made some good plays. Wound up with 84 yards and a touchdown on 6 catches. That's a good game. They did a good game spreading the ball around. They got power running. If you get 98 yards and 3 touchdowns out of your back, you did a very, very good job. And the 2 turnovers were big. They were big. And they were both the Giants taking the ball away. I mean, he went to the left side one time too many. The Giants were ready for it. And that was a very good interception. And then obviously the turnover in the middle of the field, which was forced. So, hey, it's important that your defense gets some turnovers, and the Giants did that tonight. So, in what has been a tough season, this was a real turnaround win for them. A really big, important, stick out your chest, feel better about your team, and have a reason to believe. The reason the Giants went to Dart so early is twofold. One, the coach, believe it or not, has had a conviction on Dart. Number 2, because I went and found out what the real reasons were. Number 2, they wanted to give the fans something. They felt the only thing they could give the fans was this youthful, energetic, exciting young quarterback, and hope that he could do something positive. Otherwise, it was going to be a big regime change. He might save the head coach's job. With days like tonight, he took a step towards saving his job. Because if Dart continues this, and we're not talking about 10 wins here. If they play competitively the rest of this season with Dart and with Skattebo, they are built, and they get, obviously, Neighbors back, and they utilize their pass rush. I need to see them utilize their defense. I'm not thrilled with how they play their defense. And they still make a lot of mistakes in coverage, but I don't like how they're utilizing their personnel on the line of scrimmage. We'll see how they continue to do it. Now, obviously, Burns was having a big year, but I don't like what they're doing. They have more talent and more ability to intimidate the opposition than they're doing. And I think that's something they have to improve on and use their players in different roles. And this team now has some talent. But what it has is hope. Dart and Skattebo think they belong, and they expect to win. That's a huge difference in mindset. They expect to win. Giants haven't had players here that expect to win in a while. The only team that has a worse record over the last 8 years is the Jets. The last 5 years or 6 years, I think it's the Giants. I think if it's 8 years, I think it's the Jets. They've both been dreadful. But you can't look at that game tonight and not be enthused and not be hopeful if you're a Giant fan that better days are coming. And let me tell you something. Dart and Skattebo are perfect for New York. They will be rock stars if they keep this up. Rock stars. Take my word for it. I've been here long enough to see it. They fit the bill. You will see so many 6s and 44s in that stadium, you won't be able to count them all. They're already in love with both of them. And you've seen the reasons why, like tonight. Hey, like I said, New York needed a positive night. And they dealt Philly a real bad deal. And I know you're all real sorry about that too. I mean, Philly got hit twice on the same night. There'll be a lot of joy in that town tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, big football Friday show for week number 6, Francesa 5, all that coming up. We'll see you tomorrow.